I have a commenter who wrote in and she wants to have a discussion about male coworkers who undermine her. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. She says, can you make a video about male coworkers who undermine you? I am a 22-year-old. An older male coworker has one, asked if I had a boyfriend the first day I met him. Two, asked if I made the right career choice, but then says I'm doing great. Three, told another coworker who then told me that I ruined her after a tough day with a patient. Four, asked me if I'm even old enough to drink. Five, refers to me as kiddo and then says I have Nicole again. Six, mentioned that he had a difficult day with me again and asked if I was traumatized from it. Um, and then seven was talking about Bonnie Blue with another coworker and says, oops, I forgot I have young, innocent ears here. I feel kind of disrespected, but I don't know if I'm overreacting. I mean, thanks for writing this in, but I think the first thing is to address the last statement that you made. If you feel disrespected, then, that's really all that matters. And you can go based off of that feeling and say, that's inappropriate. I don't think, I don't like the way that you talk to me, or I feel like the way that you talk to me is inappropriate. You can address it with him directly, or you can address it with your supervisor if you feel safe enough to do so. But I definitely think it sounds like from what you're telling me that, you have a person here that's bordering on the line of one between a little bit of sexual / inappropriate harassment. And they're kind of doing so through talking about, you know, do you have a boyfriend and things like that. They're testing the water to see what they can get away with. I don't know Bonnie Blue on social media, but I have heard of the name, so I haven't seen any of the content. But I feel like under the guise of that and asking you if you've had a boyfriend and being condescending. They're one, testing the water to see if you will take the bait. Do you find me attractive? How much of your personal business are you going to disclose? And then I'm going to do this push-pull thing with you where I am an authority figure and I pat you on the head like a good little girl, right? And that's sort of asserting dominance, keeping you in your place, and also him sort of um, getting off on the feeling that I'm better than you or I'm more important than you. There's a passive aggressiveness in the communication and in the flirtation that he's doing with you, and he's trying to do it under the guise of it's not really that serious. One thing that I will say is that unfortunately, if you're an attractive women tend to get harassed by men at their job. I'm not making an excuse for it. I'm just telling you that despite all the policy practices and things like that they post, it's something that typically tends to happen. And so this person is trying to be complimentary, like you're doing great. You made a great career choice. And then they're being condescending, but also saying what they can get away with you. Are you even old enough to drink? Because if you say yes, then they may circle back with asking you out for a drink. But there's also this tone that says, oh, well, you're young, but I'm still going to be inappropriate. But there's something about him saying that I have innocent ears here, that there's something about that I think even in the way that it's stated makes the way that he's stating that for you, he's wondering if that could also cause you to say, oh, but I want to hear. Therefore, you're sort of vying for acceptance and validation and to be part of his club. Yeah, so if you claim that you're not innocent, or if you claim that you're old enough, or that you are experienced, then you're sort of begging for a seat at his table. And then for that, he is not responsible for that. So there's a part of him that knows that you're young and knows that he's inappropriate, but there's also a part of it that's like, well, she's over 18, she's over 21, so anything and everything is legal here. So just looking at it, it sounds like he's fishing, and he's pushing the envelope to see what he can get away with, to see if he can, how he can wiggle in and, make his full advance that he's trying to make, but he's trying to be cute, coy, and disrespectful all at the same time. So I find that the approach that works best with those types of men, and again, everyone's experience may vary, is to just nip it right in the bud and tell him, he can do what and go where. And if you feel uncomfortable, you could certainly bring in a manager to do it. But I also find that if you can, I would avoid going around this type of person, because he's going to continue to do that. That push pull personality, that condescension, and that stuff like that. So I would avoid, if you can, talking with this person or working closely with this person if you can. I don't know what you do. Sometimes that's not possible. But you just also have to pick up on the work dynamics too, because if he's older and he's been there a long time, there's a good chance that he may have seniority. And usually with people who have seniority, their personality has always been sort of grimy, icky, and kind of like this. And they know that their manager is usually not going to send them somewhere, or they're not going to get any punishment. They're used to being who they are. So, you just want to be careful. Your workplace dynamics better than I do, because I don't work there, but try nipping it in the bud directly. So I hope that helps. And if anybody watches this, if you have any other advice, tips, and comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Thanks so much for asking this. Take care.